What if I told you there was a baseball player who physically could not miss a swing? A man so skilled that he could hit pitches that were inches off the plate, practically bouncing them over the fence. He was a feared slugger with an unorthodox swing that defied logic. Pitchers hated facing him. Fans went wild watching him. And even his teammates couldn't believe the swings he took. They called him the Magic Man. Can you guess who it was? No, not that guy yet. It's someone even more legendary. In this episode, we'll explore the incredible story of Vladimir Guerrero, the only player in history who made hitting bad pitches look easy. Vladimir Guerrero is a name synonymous with electrifying baseball. But few know the full story of how this Dominican slugger captivated the hearts and confused the minds of fans and players alike. Let's dive in. Born in the impoverished Dominican Republic, young Vladimir displayed a remarkable talent for the sport, despite having to make do with cardboard gloves and plastic bag balls. His talent was so evident that when he signed with the Montreal Expos in 1993, they only had to pay $2,100 to his family for his services. By 1996, he was in the majors, and 2 years later, he exploded onto the scene. His first MLB home run was a dramatic moment that showed he could hit anything. From then on, opposing pitchers knew they had to be careful. However, some criticized Guerrero for being too aggressive at the plate, but his numbers silenced the doubters. In 1998, he had a breakout year with a 7.4 WAR, a 324 AVG, and a 960 OPS. This was the season that cemented his reputation as a feared slugger. But it was in a famous game against the Yankees in 1998 that Guerrero truly captivated baseball fans. The Expos were down to their last strike in the 9th inning, but Guerrero stepped up and hit a towering home run to bring his team back into the game. The crowd went wild, but what made this home run so special was that it was on a pitch that was so far outside the strike zone, most batters wouldn't even bother swinging. But Guerrero didn't just connect. He sent the ball flying over the fence with ease. This legendary swing showcased his uncanny ability to make solid contact on pitches that seemed almost impossible to hit. As the game went into extra innings, Guerrero continued to amaze, turning what seemed like certain outs into base hits and keeping his team's hopes alive. Although the Expos ultimately lost the game, Guerrero's performance that night was nothing short of magical, leaving fans and players alike in awe of his incredible skills. From that point on, the nickname Bad Ball Hitter stuck. He became a superstar with the Expos, carrying a weak team almost single-handedly. He set a record with a 31-game hit streak, wowed fans with his cannon arm in right field, making unforgettable throws from almost every corner of the park. And he became Montreal's all-time leader in batting stats, a feat that had previously seemed almost impossible. In 2004, he signed a big contract with the Los Angeles Angels. That same year, he won the MVP. With a 337 AVG, 39 home runs, and 126 RBI, he was a force to be reckoned with. But it was in September of 2004 that he truly showed his clutch hitting ability. The Angels were in a tight race for the division title, and Guerrero carried his team to the finish line with an incredible run that left fans on the edge of their seats. As the final weeks of the season approached, the Angels found themselves tied with the Red Sox for the lead. With each game becoming more intense and pressure-filled, the team's fate hung in the balance. In the face of this pressure, Guerrero rose to the occasion. Game after game, he came through with clutch hits that brought his team within striking distance of the title. But it was his grand slam against the Red Sox that will forever be etched in the hearts and minds of Angels fans. With the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning, Guerrero connected with a pitch that seemed destined to end the game in a tie. However, instead of settling for extra innings, he sent the ball soaring over the fence for a walk-off grand slam. The crowd erupted and the Angels went on to secure the division title, thanks in part to Guerrero's extraordinary hitting abilities. Throughout the rest of his career, Guerrero continued to dominate the regular season, racking up impressive stats and cementing his status as one of the best hitters of his generation. But his playoff appearances were often overshadowed by the Red Sox. Time and time again, he found himself eliminated by the same team that he had defeated in such a spectacular fashion in 2004. And it was this pattern that led many in the media to question whether he had what it took to be a true champion. Despite his regular season dominance, his post-season numbers often fell short, leading to a tragic pattern of early eliminations. Yet fans admired his fearlessness and unwavering determination, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. After stints with the Blue Jays and the Rangers, he had a brief but impactful stint with the Orioles, showcasing his power-hitting prowess once again. However, it was during his time with the Rangers that he led his team to its first World Series appearance in 2010. Unfortunately, they fell short, losing to the Giants in a hard-fought battle. As his career drew to a close, he became known for his signature move, hitting a ball so far out of the park that it bounced before reaching the plate. It was a fitting send-off for a player who defied the odds and rewrote the rules of baseball. When Vladimir Guerrero retired, he left behind a legacy that extended far beyond his impressive stats. With a career average of 318 and 449 home runs, he stands as only the sixth player in history to combine power and average to that extent. His induction into the Hall of Fame on the second ballot was a testament to his impact on the game. But perhaps what set Guerrero apart was his unique approach to the sport. He played with a fearlessness and passion that was contagious. Whether he was taking on seemingly unhittable pitches or making diving catches in right field, Guerrero played each game as if it were his last. So what was the secret behind Guerrero's success? How did he hit pitches that defied logic and turn bad balls into home runs? Some say it was his impeccable timing, while others attribute it to his unorthodox swing. But perhaps it was simply a combination of skill, instinct, and an unwavering belief in his abilities. Vladimir Guerrero wasn't just a slugger. He was baseball's ultimate free spirit, a player who lived and breathed the game with a passion that was unmatched. His legacy continues to live on through his son, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who shows flashes of the same power and grace that made his father a legend. We'll leave the final words to Guerrero himself. When asked what advice he had for young players, he said, "Play the game with emotion. If you have the chance to be great, don't waste it." Thanks for watching. Which player do you think was better? Would you rather have perfect discipline or the magic of a player who could hit anything? Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and share if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.